The show The Boys, they're mini superhero groups, and I've already ranked the 7, and many people recommend that I rank Payback. So today I'm ranking each member of Payback from weakest to strongest. And before I start the video, it would mean a lot if you'd like and subscribe. At 7, we're gonna start off with Swado. Swado's main power is to be able to manifest wings. So basically, he can just fly like an insect, and he can also retract the wings if he wants to. Outside of that though, we really don't know the extent of his superhuman strength or superhuman durability. Most of his powers are kind of a mystery to us because he's very careless within the show and he dies almost instantly the first time we see him. The one time we see Swado even use his ability, he's trying to fly away and get away from the enemy and he dies, so I think it's fair to put him at last. And at number 6 we have the TNT twins. I'm putting the TNT twins together because that is how they use their powers. If I just put them both at last, that would make this a very boring list because they wouldn't be able to do anything. But when they're together, their power is plasma generation, which means that when the twins make contact with each other, like holding hands, they'll activate their ability to generate bolts of explosive energy which resemble lightning. These bolts can give off heat and concussive force. This power is not weak by any means, but when we see them in the present day in the show, they literally can't use their power. I'm not putting that into account on this list because again, that's not fair, but I think it's interesting how out of practice they can be with their power. We'll take into account though that they literally don't get along. They're not very good at cooperating with each other, and their power does take time to recharge, so even if they do use it once at full blast, they're gonna have to wait to use it again, which I think is a huge disadvantage in any fight. We also do know they have a degree of superhuman strength and superhuman durability, but we're also not sure how much they have. With the info we have on them, I think it's safe to put them at number 6. Number 5 though, we have Gunpowder, which I think with everyone on this list, I think you could probably switch out the twins and Gunpowder. Don't think it matters that much, but with the info I have on Gunpowder, I'm just gonna put him a little bit higher than them. I think if Gunpowder was to fight the twins, he'd literally have to dodge one blast and then he could shoot them, because Gunpowder's power is superhuman accuracy. This ability to aim a weapon such as a gun or a bow is substantially better than any non-superpowered person could do it. Even in Gunpowder's later years, he's in a fight with Billy Butcher, and Butcher is hiding, and Gunpowder is able to ricochet a shot off a water pipe through a parked car's passenger and driver's window, and then off a second support column, which then he grazes Billy Butcher's cheek. I think this is a pretty impressive feat, and it goes to show his combat abilities, which again is why I think he's at least better than the TNT twins. Also, he could definitely just shoot Swado out of the air, so I just think there's some people on this list that are much stronger than him. Which brings me to the next character on this list. At number 4, we have Crimson Countess. Crimson Countess can produce luminous fireballs from her hand, instantly exploding victims on impact. Her power is funneled through her hand though, which means she can be restrained by someone like Kimiko pretty easily. Power also helps her fly around like someone like Starlight would. It's also been hinted that she ages slower than your average person or super person would. And like almost every other character on this list, we know she has a degree of superhuman strength and superhuman durability. We're just not sure how good it is. There's really not much else we can say about her, except for that she's pretty strong, but not the strongest on this list. So at number 3, I'm gonna put Mindstorm, which Mindstorm is a very interesting character because with his ability, you could put him at last on this list, or you could put him at first, because he has the ability of dream imprisonment. So if he visually looks at someone, he can imprison his target with a physically induced coma, where the victim was forced to relive their most traumatic experience with a never-ending nightmare sequence that was created from their own memories. According to Soldier Boy, the only actual way to escape the nightmare is for Mindstorm to voluntarily let you be released. Not to mention that he also has telepathy and mind control, 3 of which are super overpowered abilities, but I'm not putting him at 1 on this list clearly, because I think he has some pretty big weaknesses. First off, he has to make visual contact, so if you know about his powers, I don't think it would be that hard to take him down, which makes me think think someone like Black Noir could literally sneak up on him and kill him, because Black Noir is a master assassin. Not even just to mention his mind state, he's a pretty unstable guy, or at least in the present day where we see him in the show. So of every single power in the show, I think his is the biggest glass cannon, that where if he hits you with it, it's over, but there's definitely ways to get around it. So again, maybe it's controversial to put him at 3, but I think you could truly put him anywhere on this list. Personally, I just think his power is impressive enough to put him at 3. At number 2, we move on to Black Noir. And I have already been over Black Noir's powers and abilities in the 7 ranking, which I'll link in the description. But I'll go over it again while I'm here. So, he has a lot of powers. He has superhuman strength, superhuman durability, superhuman speed, superhuman agility, superhuman reflexes, superhuman hearing, and regenerative healing factor. I think out of all the supes we see in The Boys, he is kind of the jack of all trades. Then, more impressively, you put on that, he's a master martial artist. He's an expert in all things hand-to-hand combat. He's an expert assassin, and he's a master with knives and throwing daggers. And again, I put him ahead of Mindstorm because he could definitely find a way to sneak up on him and take him out. Something I didn't mention in the last video, though, is that he also has a big weakness. He does have a tree nut allergy, which actually gets used to take him out in a fight. And also, later on in his career, he has a lot of brain damage that he obtained from Soldier Boy, which I bet you all guessed it, Soldier Boy is number 1 on this ranking. Arguably, maybe the strongest, if not second strongest person in the whole show. Soldier Boy almost actually killed everyone on this list too, which makes it a lot easier to rank him at 1 because he's actually taken down most of the people on this list. Soldier Boy's main ability is superhuman strength, but out of all the supes in the show, he has some of the strongest strength that we've seen. He is literally the Captain America of the Boys universe. Interesting fact about Soldier Boy is that his shield is so heavy that a normal person could not even lift it up. And according to Mother's Milk, Soldier Boy possessed the strength to lift and throw a full-sized car as if it were a toy. It just goes to show his crazy power. Homelander was genuinely concerned about Soldier Boy's power and strength before they fought, and when they did fight, it almost seemed to evenly match. Not many supes in the show could go blow for blow with Homelander, besides the Peak, who could easily beat him. Aside of that, Soldier Boy has just shown some extreme feats that easily make me want to put him at number 1 on the list. Soldier Boy really has it all. He's super quick, he has super hearing, he has super reflexes, he's immune to most poison and radiation, and then he's also an expert in hand-to-hand combat and all sorts of forms of that. The list literally goes on, but I mean, again, safe to say he's just number 1 on this list. I think that's it for the video, and if you have any recommendations on any other group in The Boys, or any other TV show that you want me to rank, then just put it in the comments. Thanks for watching.